Hello and welcome back for part 4 of our playthrough of the Great Wasteland map for Heroes of Might and Magic 3. In this part I'm hoping we will actually break through into the Wasteland itself, which is something we've been building up to the whole time. Realistically, I feel like it was probably not the right option to play it this way because chances are the garrison there and the other two garrisons we've come across aren't quite as terrifying as they look, but I figured that people would probably want to actually see the Wasteland itself. So we've deliberately played in such a way that we can actually push into the Wasteland instead of just going straight for the opposing players. We've still got 2 days left of this week, so I think our main priorities are going to be to get Jabarkas down to the south to learn the armourer skill from the witch hut. And while he's there, I think we'll take on the crypt and the lizard warriors, because we should have just enough movement points to make it back into Tormina to get some of these spell points back. Even though we've never actually spent a spell point in our lives, we have 10 knowledge and we only have 24 spell points free. So we do need to make sure we end a turn at some point in Tormina, and it wouldn't make sense to do it next turn because we would waste a load of movement points, so that is something worth bearing in mind. Pyre we're going to send over to, I think this is Zubin, yep, and Zubin's going to take the rocks, pass over a single goblin, and we're just going to try and carry all this stuff as far as we can. Already visited that, so that's not going to help. And we've just got a few movement points left on Lorelei, so I'm going to make sure we go ahead and pass over the Legs of Legion. And I feel like we might as well take this because we're not going to do anything else with it. And with the remaining movement points, we're going to go to the Crystal Cavern, and we're going to try and get to the Vial of Mercury before the end of the week, because we only have 13 Mercury left. And what I'd quite like to do is to upgrade the Mage's Guild a couple of times just before Jabarkas actually comes in and visits. Could actually just stop by just for the sake of picking up a few spells, but for the sake of taking on a crypt and some lizard warriors, I don't think it's going to be an issue, so we should be completely fine. Wow, okay, so red has finally appeared. Doesn't look like they're going to go for the garrison, but they were strong enough to take down the gold mine, which suggests that this is a main hero. Yeah, it's Genova. So she's got some leprechauns, interestingly. I'm not actually sure exactly what those do. She's also got some Cyclops Kings. Interesting, we could definitely beat her. But I don't think that's going to change my plans too much for now. We're just going to keep exploring with Dessa, so let's pick up this. Let's visit this before the end of the week. And let's just grab some of this gold. And we can see that this is guarded by some Archdevils, some Pit Lords, and some Ifrit Sultans. So, pretty similar to the other garrisons, really, not too surprising. We're just going to move back, I think. Yeah, we'll move back, and we'll prepare to pick up some rocks from the Cliff Nest at the start of next week. Pyre, I think, is going to go towards the Water Wheel and just pick that up at the start of next week. I think that makes sense, although before we do that, let's go and pick up some gold, some sulfur, and that costs us money, so we're not going to do it. Yogg is going to go and take on the Dwarven Treasury, so I think we're going to want the Cyclops in slot 1, and we're just going to want to surround them with some pretty beefy units, so I think slot 6 is going to be a good option for the Behemoths, and probably slot 3 for the Ogre Magi should be fine. The morale could be an issue here. Oh no, we actually got good morale because we visited the Rally Flag and the Fountain of Youth. Okay, that's good. So this should be fine. Let's see if we can avoid that. Okay, so the Behemoths we're going to go for... Yeah, I think we will just go for the Battle Dwarves. Take them out straight away, pretty much take these out, or at least massively weaken them. If they don't get morale, they're not going to be a threat this turn. And the rest of our units we are just going to pull back to defend. Apart from these guys, we're going to throw these forward just for the sake of wasting the dwarves' turns. And to be honest, I think this stack should be able to pretty much take these out immediately, which they can. So those come forward, we can kill those pretty much immediately. They can't even reach us with their other stack. So I don't think we really need to worry about taking losses here. I'm not sure why that didn't kill. I must have missed something there. and they had no trouble killing the battle dwarves. I'm not sure how that works. Okay, well we can't get a full powered shot off just yet, so we'll wait and let them come slightly closer. Perhaps we need to bloodlust these. I think we might as well. They're not going to be able to get a kill. Yeah, doing 8 damage with that stack, and even these full stacks of 20 aren't going to do too much. Just defend with these, shoot with these, defend with these, and Behemoths will be able to take them out completely fine. In fact, we don't even need to use them a second time. 2,000 experience, basic armor, let's go for it even though it's not a main hero. 5 crystal, 5,000 gold, definitely worth it, and we can start pulling back towards Jabarkas, who is going to come down to the witch's hut. Can Yogg get close? That's the question. And do we need him to this turn? So Yogg can pass over the units if he wants to. I don't think we need him to. So yeah, let's go for armourer. Definitely. And we can actually reach the crypt this turn. Okay. Interesting. In that case, let's go ahead and pass over some of these units. That should be completely fine. I don't really want to lower the morale too much. I will send over just a couple of harpies just for the sake of having some fodder. Similar to the last fight, I think we're going to want Cyclops at the top left. And Behemoths probably on that same slot we had them on before, slot 6. Just because if they do spawn with vampires, we'll be able to take those on pretty easily. And while we're here, let's actually take the Legs of Legion back. And let's move them towards Gurnison, who in fact should probably come south too, just for the sake of picking up Jabarkas' units at the end of the turn. Let's take this on, as it's actually extremely weak, and we shouldn't take any losses here at all. Even the game won't take any losses, even under control of the AI, so that's perfect. And yeah, let's send Gurnison to the south. Let's pick up all of the slower units. And I think that's pretty much all we need to do in this area for now. Over in the town itself, like I said, I'm pretty keen to upgrade the Mage's Guild. Ballista Yard's completely pointless. Upgraded Cyclops Cave's not really a priority. Upgraded Ogre Fort would be nice, but if you look into the wastes themselves, you can see there is actually a hill fort right there, so we can go in with normal ogres if we need to, and we can still upgrade them completely fine. All of Valhalla is also tempting for a +1 attack. A little bit torn between the two. I think overall though, more spells is going to be the best choice. That gets us blind, so definitely worth it immediately. Lightning Bolt's also really great, so I think that was the right choice. Lorelei is going to go for the Vial. If she can get there in time, if she can, that's great. So we still got 10 Mercury left in the bank. We should have an extra 2 as of the start of next turn, so we can afford to keep upgrading. And I think this dude we'll just bring across some of the units, so let's send him as close as we can. I don't think... yeah, Lorelei doesn't have anything we need to pick up, so that's great. Let's just end the turn there. And we're on to day 7. Should be able to see what Red does here. Is Red actually going to try and break through? Not strong enough to do so, so that's good to know. I'm not sure how the AI would judge that, because the main thing putting me off, of course, is that I can't see the numbers. I wouldn't be averse to sacrificing a hero just to see exactly what's in there. Just because 2,500 gold is not going to be that much of a big deal to us at this point. And even in the previous part probably wouldn't have been either. But still. I prefer the idea of going into the waste. It's kind of the whole point of the map, right? So let's just do it that way. Major skill level 3, let's go for it. Let's see what we get. I don't think there are many great spells at level 3, although anti-magic is really good, so that's good enough for me. Jabarkas I would like to park in the town. We probably don't actually need our units for this. Something like this should work fine. They're gonna run away, but I might actually take them on. No losses expected, so no reason not to. And there's nothing for him to be doing here. I could go and take on the pack of Black Knights. Gonna need my full forces for that, and to be frank, it's not really worth it. We could get a couple of crypts to fight, but it's a bit of extra gold that we don't really need. I'm more interested in just getting back to the town. So let's focus on that, and then start of next turn is going to be a start of a new week, and we should be good just to push. Alternatively, We could just leave him right next to the Bone Dragons at the start of the week and chain some units to him instead. I don't think I want to do that. I think we do just want to get our spell points back, even though we do still have movement points to burn. It's not ideal, but I think it's the best option we have. If I went there, I don't think I could get back to the town. So yeah, let's just go back to the town. Let's get our movement points, let's get the spells. Definitely want to buy a spell book. That's obviously very important too. And I think, yeah, we might as well just wait here till the end of the week now. Bring these back together. And I think we're good, just to leave him there. Nothing else he can do. With Yogg, I think we're going to go and pick up the Orc Tower. Stuff from the Orc Tower. Wait there till next week. This guy is bringing some units. Let's pass those over. And I will send him up to pick up some goblins, and then we've got Lorelei who's going to pick up some resources. We might as well see what this is too. Ice Bolt, we've already got that, so absolutely no reason to come back for it. This guy, I will actually wait here till the start of next week, so we can pick that up immediately. And then I will take Pyre and send her down to the water wheel. And that pretty much just leaves Gurnison, who has all our units, so we can't really go wandering off with him at this point. For now, let's go ahead and pass them over to Jabarkas, who's going to need to get rid of some of these in the town. Can upgrade these, definitely worth doing. Wolf Raiders are a hell of a lot better than Wolf Riders, night and day, so definitely want to upgrade them. We'll upgrade these too, pretty cheap upgrade actually. I think there's not too much of a difference between the two. 4 extra speed, and then the lightning bolt ability, but that's still like massively worth it. 4 speed alone would be a pretty decent upgrade, but lightning bolt ability is even better. And I think that's pretty much all we can do, so let's pass over these last few units. Do we want these? Yes we do. Okay, so let's upgrade these, put them with the rest, and we're going to upgrade these too. I will probably leave the stack of goblins behind, because we don't really have space for them, and they are the weakest option out of all of our units. As it looks like I don't quite have space, so it's a choice between 1 extra movement point, or 1 extra speed in terms of our movement point generation for next turn, and saving 24 imps, but like, what are we going to do with 24 imps? Let's just get rid of them. And I think we're good just to end the turn there. Can move Gurnison away slightly, so let's actually send him to the south. Pick up stuff from the Mystical Garden, along with the chest, if we can get through there, which looks like we can. That's great. Let's end the turn. Go straight into week 4. And everything appears pretty quiet with the other opponents. We do know that red is to the south. Start of a new week, let's spend all of our gold immediately. Mage Guild level 3 is as high as it goes in this particular faction, which is kind of unfortunate. Could have actually built the Freelancers Guild and traded the imps instead, but never mind. Let's go for this, get the extra attack skill, and let's pick up as many units as we can. Pretty pricey, but we can afford to do it, so it's fine. So we are going to leave the hobgoblins behind. These guys are going to slow us down a bit. Let's see what we can do. It's not going to be worth the movement points to go for the Learning Stone, I think. We definitely do want to go for this. And then lots of Pegasi should be a fairly easy fight, I think. They actually want to join us. I don't know why everyone wants to join us. It keeps happening. None of these stacks are worth giving up. Yeah, just gonna let that go. Should have taken the fight in hindsight, but never mind. Let's check out what this is. Basic Eagle Eye, hell no. Not a chance. Also of Legion, good to have, and go for the gold there, that's pretty poor as a chest. Lots of Magogs. I think it's worth it. wonder if we can just prevent the loss altogether. Pretty sure we can. Yeah. No reason for that to happen. Take the experience, and we will go over to here, and then next thing to do is to take on the bone dragons. Unfortunately, because we don't have mass slow, it could actually be a bit of an awkward fight. Is going to be a slight concern. I think with Zubin, instead of going for the goblins, we're going to park them in the town so we can move over the ogres next turn. And that just leaves these guys, so you're going to pick up some ore. Then pick up the rocks. Pretty tempted to check out the Den of Thieves, just in case things have moved slightly since we last looked, so let's go and move towards that. Take 1,000 gold from the water wheel, and potentially should actually move up to pick up the rocks. Let's go for it. Gurniston is going to pick up all this stuff. And then Yog is going to pick up the orcs. Bring those back for next turn. And Lorelei, I think, is the best choice for picking up the wolves and the goblins. I can also go to the warehouse of wood while we're there. Kind of pointless, but because we do have access to a trading post, we can actually get some extra gold for that, so I think it's worth doing. Which is pretty much all our movement points spent. We can recruit another hero, so we got Krelian, who comes with orcs, a few orcs, and a few other units that aren't going to be too useful. Not sure that's going to be worth it, maybe as an extra scout. It's a pretty rich map and we're going to be opening quite a few things up, so perhaps. Plus, we might need everything we can get for the Bone Dragon fight. I think that will actually be worth doing. Yeah, let's go for it. So, let's recruit her. Let's upgrade all of these. And we're just going to send her to the south. In fact, we shouldn't actually take goblins with us. Okay, and we're going to take all of the relatively slow units. Going to help Jabarkas move that a little bit further next turn. And let's also clear this out. And we'll end the turn. So we're now into day 4, week 2. Day 4, week 2. I mean week 4, day 2, that's what I mean. We're going to upgrade the ogre fort, and we're going to finally recruit these ogres. And we're going to just leave the goblins behind. I think we're not going to do too much with those. Okay, this is going to be a big turn. Start by passing these back. And Krelian. I think I actually left the wrong hero in the town at the start of the week in hindsight. I can't remember where the Legs of Legion have disappeared to. So I think with Garrison, basic artillery does give you control of your arrow towers, so he might actually be a fairly decent choice to defend the town. In which case he should probably have the Legion artifacts for himself. Let's start moving him towards the town anyway, and let's actually have a little look for where I put those Legs of Legion, as Lorelei doesn't have it. Pyre actually has a couple of decent artifacts, should have actually taken the Shield of the Yawning Dead. Not too late to do that. Okay, let's try and bring that back to our main hero. So we'll pick that up. Doesn't really matter about the scales of the Greater Basilisk, we're not going to be using those. Just the wrong way around. I think it is. Yeah, that's slightly better. Okay, we have visited that unfortunately, so no extra movement points, but we'll see what we can do. Can't get too far. Probably shouldn't have already moved Lorelei. Although that was actually last turn, so never mind. Pick up some goblins. We'll pick this up too, and move towards the wolf raiders. This guy has a few orcs, which we can upgrade. 14 extra orcs could go a long way, especially on the orc specialist, so I think that's worth doing. As actually, it does look like Yogg has it, so that's good to know. Okay, that's fine. So Yogg is going to meet up with Gunnison and Zubin and pass over the last few orcs. Hard to keep up with all these heroes, just so many heroes. They're all pretty similar in appearance, to be honest. We'll go for the defense skill on this particular hero, not that this hero is going to be used for anything. And we're going to pass over all the remaining units to Jabarkas. And we are about to take a pretty big fight. The lack of mass spells is kind of unfortunate. An extra 3 defense would have been nice too, so we need to make sure we bring that Shield of the Yawning Dead as soon as we can. Need to think about unit alignment slightly. So, Aurelian needs to get out of the way first, although actually Jabarkas is going to go the arena himself. I'm never really sure with Heroes 3 whether it's better to go really overkill in one stat or to kind of go for a more rounded approach. However, given that the Bone Dragons are probably slightly faster than most of our units, I'm going to go for the extra defense skill ahead of this fight. And can we get through without actually getting Krellian's way? Looks like we can. Okay, so I think at the top we're going to want our Orcs. We're going to want to guard them with something pretty strong, so let's put the Behemoths there. And let's put the Ogres next to the Cyclops. In the middle we'll have our 2 Flying Stacks and Wolf Raiders. I'd ideally like to keep the Wolf Raiders somewhere in between the Ogre Magi and the Angels, which does actually make sense, because if the Angels go and attack something first, then these guys can follow up with their double attack and don't have to worry about retaliation. On the other hand, if we wait, then the Ogre Magi will go before the Wolf Raiders, which means that we will be able to do the same thing, don't have to worry about retaliation, which is really by far the main concern when you're using Wolf Raiders. Let's just go for it. They actually want to run away. Is this worth doing just for the experience? I'm surprised. Kinda gone a bit overkill here, apparently. This might be a mistake, but I'd like to try it. I actually expected to lose just the 1 Angel. Only 13 Bone Dragons, could be worse. They can't get too far. Okay. So we do have tactics, I forgot about that, so we can actually just rearrange things however we like. So put these guys here. I think that works. Okay, so we get to go first. We can throw our Angels forward. I don't think we want to do that. We can't blind them because they're undead. Do have pretty good air spells. Lightning Bolt would do enough to kill 1 of them. Nearly 2 of them. They can't get morale, so I think best thing to do at first is just to wait. See exactly how much damage we can do with our ranged units. I think we're going to be forced to attack first though. Okay, so these guys are forced to go first. Let's go ahead and improve the attack of the Angels. These guys can do enough to kill 1 or 2 Bone Dragons. That's not bad. Especially since they're going to be forced to come forward pretty soon. I'm pretty tempted just to haste these. I'm not sure who's going to do more damage out of the 105 Orcs or the 11 Cyclops. We can check that out right now though. So we can see these are going to do 173 to 432. Let's go for that. Okay, so it looks like the Orcs are actually a hell of a lot more powerful. In that case, I think... So these are 10 speed, these guys are 6 speed. The haste is going to add an extra 5 speed. 10 speed, 6 speed, so it should go up to 11 speed. Probably should have done that sooner, but never mind. These guys are just going to throw at these, since they're nice and weakened, and these guys are just going to defend. Okay, so they're going to go forward. They are now close enough to launch the attack. A little bit concerned here. So this is still round 1. For the sake of protecting my Wolf Raiders, there might be an argument for just throwing the Angels forward. These guys are just going to defend. So if we go for this, then the Orc Chieftains still get to attack first, however they're not going to get that full powered shot off. Unless we wait, but if we wait then the Bone Dragons can kill us. Alternatively, start of next round we could go for haste on the Wolf Riders, and we could get them to safety, which would mean that the Bone Dragons would instead go for the Ogre Magi, who could at least tank the shot, but we would lose a couple, I think. Alternatively, I could just lightning bolt them. Let's see how much they do in retaliation. So 61 damage, that's a bit more than I thought. On the other hand, I think we should survive it. Oh wow, okay. Of course they'd go for that, why wouldn't they go for that? Yeah, I was meant to haste. Okay, never mind, screw it. It's fine. Advanced tactics. Alright, we've still got 94 left. And several manticores. I'm less keen on fighting, it's not necessarily going to be that worthwhile. There's an armor of wonder up there which we already have. Don't really need to go for that immediately. I would like to come down here to go to the Trailblazer, especially since it's still fairly early in the week. There's not too much else that we need. The grave is always good to dig up, and get quite a lot for that. I'm kind of tempted just to push east though. On the other hand, now that we've opened it up, we can actually send some of our other heroes forward, just to lead the way in the scouting, and Jabarkas for now. can pretty safely take these on, and I think we should actually chase them down, to be honest. Not expected to take losses, so definitely worth it. And we can push on. Pack of magic elementals. We definitely should take the fight. Even though I'm not really bothered about the hill fort, not going to benefit from that. It will actually, I think, enable us to push slightly further to the east. Interesting that there's a purple Keymaster's tent. Not sure exactly what that would be blocking off. So if we push all the way up here, we can go to the town gate, which enables us to jump straight back to our main town. And that's definitely an interesting option. It means that we can pretty safely just go and explore on the assumption that we will get to here at some point. On the other hand, this is mostly surrounded by water, so if it is just an island, that could be quite difficult. I would also like to go to the cannon yard, definitely. But yeah, let's definitely take this fight. They're going to try and run away. I'm sure we can take them out without losses. In fact, don't even need to fight that one out, so that's good. We won't need ballistics because we're going to have Cyclops Kings, I think, pretty soon. We can't upgrade them from the hill fort, but if we do go back to the town at some point, that's when we can do it. We'll go for expert tactics, and if we pick up a cannon, that can also fire at the castle walls. So I don't think there's any need to go for ballistics at all. Plus, it's not, it's not actually a great skill, so might as well skip it. Pack of steel golems would be fun to fight, just because they are, of course, one of the new creatures added at the start of the year. And a pack of unicorns guarding the Targe of the Rampaging Ogre. Not exactly sure what that does, but it probably is superior to the Shield of the Yawning Dead, I'm pretty sure. So it does look like there's a lot more to the west than to the east at the moment. On the other hand, at the start of next turn, we will be able to do some good scouting with the rest of our heroes. So let's actually move as far forward as we can, throw as many people in as we can, and damn. We've got to give Pyre the rocks. Okay, fine. Alright, 3 extra rocks, not a big deal. We can maybe do it next turn, it's fine. We don't actually need to be hanging around the trading post for anything in particular. We pretty much just have more money than we need in general. Okay, let's just end the turn. See if red makes an appearance. Doesn't look like it. Other players, all seems pretty quiet. Okay, fine. Alright, so we're going to send Zubin and Krelian off to explore. Let's just see what we can find. Okay, so there's a black tower. I think that's a black market there as well. An extra grave. Okay. There's a black market there, so that's clearly not a black market, that's some barrels. Don't know what the barrels are part of. Something different though. I'm still not seeing much that's worth really going for here. More unicorns guarding something. Okay, I'm not too bothered about that. Next hero option is Zubin. I don't think there's much to scout. He can't really go any further than Krelian. So let's actually use him to pick up some of this stuff. Got much more sulfur than we need. And over in the town, I think we can upgrade the Cyclops Cave whenever we like. It's not really a big issue, so let's go for the resource silo instead for now. Just because we have money to burn, and we can of course trade all that stuff once it becomes a massive surplus, which it almost certainly will. Yog is going to pass the Legs of Legion back, I think. Yeah, we've forgotten to take the Torso of Legion off of Jabarkas, but we can still do that. The Warlock Slab does enable us to convert our resources into other resources, but again, I think we're pretty much at a wash with every resource we could need. There's something else of Legion down there as well, if we take on the unicorns. Which we should. Let's go for it. They don't want to fight us. We should still fight them for the XP. Not expected to take losses, that's good. So there's the Loins of Legion. Can we get through here without taking the painful route? I think we can. Let's go this way instead. Another ribcage there, which we don't need. This all looks pretty unexplored to the south. There's some Chaos Hydras guarding a rally point for some reason. There must be something else there. Okay, fine. Champions don't want to fight us. They're pretty fast. I don't know if they can get across the field in one turn. I still think we should fight them. Oh, it's literally just one champion. Okay. That's not something you'd see in a random map. That's definitely a result of human map designers. Cannon Yard, it's 5,000 gold for a cannon, which we can of course afford. The problem is, oh, it's 4,000. The problem is, we do have a ballista on us right now, so we can't actually pick that up. We definitely do want to visit the Trailblazer before the end of the week, and then I think we'll make a move for the target of the Rampaging Ogre. The Great Wasteland is a little bit smaller than what I thought from what I can see so far. Garrison, we said we'd put him in the town. Let's do it. Leave him to defend the town. Yog, I think he's fine with speed 6 and 7 creatures. I'm not too bothered about that, so actually the faster way through, to be fair. Let's just send him into the waste as well. Dessa, hang on, I haven't visited that, so let's do that. Worth it for the movement points, and we're gonna give this stuff back to Pyre. Go back underground, and he's just gonna be our underground man, I think. Pyre is gonna go to the east. And Lorelei can swing by and pick up what's left. So I don't think we're going to need the Shield of the Yawning Dead, but still worth having, I guess. In fact, if anything, we should probably send both of them to the south to back up Jabarkas. But I don't think we're going to need more than one hero in the underground, and we'll just end the turn there. We should be able to see quite a lot more of the wasteland in this next turn. Not gonna lie, it's a real struggle to talk at the moment. I'm still so under the cosh of this cold. Alright, so a pack of steel golems, that's a really easy fight, but I might still go for it just for the sake of enjoying killing a few of the newly added creatures. There's not really too much else here to be paying too much attention to. What I will do is I will send Zubin immediately to the south. I'll actually reach. This should work. I'm going to take the torso, I think that makes sense. And we're going to take the ballista. And Jabarkas. I think it's going to be slightly faster to pick that up on our way through. Zubin sadly can't quite make it to the grave this turn, which is unfortunate because if we land there, we can dig it up the turn after without wasting too many movement points. Okay, so it looks like there is another entrance to the Great Wasteland, again guarded by some bone dragons. And see, if we push through there, I would have thought that wouldn't actually be too close to the red player, who I'm assuming is down here to the south. Not too sure what to make of that. There's only 3 opponents on this map. It's a pretty large map, medium plus underground, with just 4 players. There is a scholar there to potentially visit. I'm not sure if I'm that bothered about that, but we'll see. We are going to take this fight just for the sake of seeing the new creatures. I think even the Thunderbirds will be safe. I think. Yeah, guaranteed kill. Having picked up that extra stack in the last part, our stack of Thunderbirds is pretty disproportionately strong. And we go to the Trailblazer. That enables us to travel much further over this particular terrain. I should actually start taking the experience from that stuff because we don't really need gold. Gives us an extra attack skill there, so that's worth doing. And we are just going to go for the charge of the Rampaging Ogre. Still lots of exploring to be done, so let's see what we can see. So Krellian. Interesting. And Hydra's guarding something. I never thought of the black market as being, like, a massive game changer in terms of how good it is, but it does appear to be the only thing it's guarding. There's an extra gold mine. Tavern to the south. No sign of any opponents. No sign of any way through there either. Churchyard is a fairly easy way to get some extra resources, which we don't really need. Okay, so there's a warehouse of gold, that's always good, but again, resources are not really an issue at this point. I think we will keep exploring, but priority is probably going to be to actually go after some of the opponents pretty soon. This guy will send just to pick up the stuff that Zubin left behind. And Lorelei, I think, again, makes sense just to kind of throw these guys towards the south. She can actually pass over a few units too, so let's upgrade all of those. Send her that way, and Pyre, I'm pretty tempted to do likewise. We should leave someone in this kind of area just to keep picking up the various creature dwellings. It's not as important as in Horn of the Abyss because they do stack up over time, unlike Shadow of Death. I think something I've neglected to mention so far is that I really like the map design here of having the lake and the gem pond next to each other. It does kind of look like a natural extension. Just one of those little attention to detail things that you wouldn't get with a random map. It's quite nice. There's not really too much for her to be doing until next week. If we push all the way down there, we won't actually be able to see anything extra compared to what we could already see from the Redwood Tower. But I don't really see what else we can do with her, so I think let's just say screw it and go for it. Leave her here. Probably camp her, in fact. And Dessa. We'll just leave Dessa here for now. Again, we're going to camp him till the start of next week. And this is Gurnison, I believe. We want to keep him in the town as a defender. Eovacius is a really good hero, but I don't know if I need to actually think about having multiple strong heroes. Hopefully Jabarkas can do everything. It kind of depends, because if all three of the opponents show up at the same time, that's going to be slightly more awkward. I'm pretty tempted just to push south here through the Bone Dragons. Certainly going to fight them either way, just to open that up. Okay. Can build something. Look at the Freelancers Guild. See how much we can actually sell these for. That's the wrong thing. Any visiting heroes, okay, so switch them round. So 13 of those are worth a precious resource. That's not so bad actually. But still. Let's just end the turn. Okay, so Red is actually coming... That's not his main hero, so I don't think that's going to attack us, although it did just... either took out some monks or took out a scholar. I'm not really sure which one it was, as we can see that Tan is to the east. Our opponents are starting to appear now. I think, rather than sending him to the east to continue exploring the wastes, we should actually just send him out to attack. We've been into the wastes, we know what the wastes have, we don't need to just go on a pointless excursion. We should actually try and deal with the opponents one at a time if we can, as this is all lava terrain, which suggests that it's kind of the same body of the map that this particular hero is in. So I think that's what we should go for. This should be an easy fight. Yep. Pick this up, see what it does. +5 defense, yeah, that's worth having. Don't need the Shield of the Yawning Dead after that. And a pack of Bone Dragons, again, they're probably going to run away. I'm not sure if we need to take this fight. But I'm going to say it's going to be worth it for the experience, as they do actually have some Ghost Dragons. That's kind of unfortunate. Because we do have tactics, we should be able to at least keep the Orcs safe. I'd like to also see if I can keep these safe. We need to do that. Let's try something like this. I think that works. So these guys have 14 speed, so they're going to go first. They're going to come forward. They're going to hit the ogres. They can't reach the Thunderbirds. I think that's the best way to do it. So yeah, they do come forward, they do go for the ogres. Managed to kill one immediately, which is great. These guys are just going to wait, see if we can bait the Bone Dragons to come slightly closer, which they probably won't. They actually do, okay. So... not sure which of these two I'm more scared of. We should actually be able to take them out before the end of the round, I'm pretty sure. Don't think we need to spend our spell points either. Okay, so I'm going to wait with these. I'm going to wait with these as well. These guys are ridiculously strong, which is of course because we are the Orc specialist, but I've always thought of Orcs as being pretty underrated units. They are pretty good. Especially when you have an extra Orc tower, of course. And do a ton of damage. So middle of the range is going to be somewhere around 600 damage, which I don't think will actually kill off the Ghost Dragons. And the rest of our units actually reach the bone dragons. Looks like they all can. Doesn't really make a difference, I don't think. I'm gonna go for these because they're closer. I do actually take them out, I'm kind of surprised by that. I'm gonna bloodlust the ancient behemoths. Okay, these guys can't actually go. Have I done this wrong? I think I might have. These are 8 speed. And these are 9. Oh! Wolf Raiders are way slower than I thought. Spent my entire life up to this point thinking that Wolf Raiders are faster than ancient behemoths, but they are in fact slower. Okay. Fine. Don't think it matters. These guys will get the guaranteed kill anyway. Fine. Can't remember how many orcs we were predicted to lose, that might not have been worth it. I think it's fine though, like, ogres are not too important, and to have a nice powerful stack of orcs is always nice. I'd really like to get the resurrection spell, and the earth magic skill. I think that's the main thing that Jabarkas is missing right now. He's looking pretty good apart from that. Go for advanced armor to make ourselves slightly harder to kill. Some chaos hydras there guarding something. It looks like there's actually a further waste to the south. That could be interesting to explore, but I think what I will probably do is just keep pushing towards the red player, try and take them out of the game nice and early. Zoom in. Have I done this wrong? I have done this wrong, I think. Okay. Yeah, I've done this wrong, so I can't pick up the cannon this turn. I was actually going to fight the pit lords, but I think it makes sense just to keep pushing south. It's probably slightly risky to take the slower units off Jabarkas now. Okay, so I think what we'll do instead is the kind of usual secondary hero thing. We're just going to pick up a load of resources. And I'm going to try and end our turn on the grave. I think I'll play it safe. I think we've got enough just to jump on the War Machine Factory and jump back. Let's get this, and let's get this. Jump back down to the grave, and I think I saw a second grave. I'm not sure if that's just in my head. Maybe not. Okay, but Krelian can explore slightly more, so let's go ahead and do that. Should have done that first in hindsight. Okay, this is interesting. Rust dragons and red dragons guarding something. Aspids. There's a tower town. Damn, okay, maybe I am going the wrong way. Not sure how to feel about that. There is a grave there. That's new though. Wow. I'm gonna go see as much as I can. So, some very powerful artifacts. Perhaps I should have come this way, that would have been more interesting. Never mind. There's a shipyard which it looks like guards the way through to this particular island. Not really sure. Still not sure what that purple Keymaster's tent is gonna actually give us access to. Still, I think Jabarkas has made his choice. We can always come back if we're fast enough. Okay. So either Red's only just reached this area, or this isn't actually as closely connected as I thought. They don't appear to have taken too much. We'll take this fight. No losses expected, that's cool. Yeah, it looks like he's only just made it to this area because seems pretty open to me. I should be able to take out this hero next turn. And presumably if we just keep pushing south we can take the red player out. I would like to come back to the waste now. I'm suddenly way more interested in it. There's quite a lot of interesting stuff here. I know that shield I've forgotten the name of is actually pretty good. One of the best artifacts, I think. Lion's Shield of Courage, perhaps? That would be worth having. Don't know if I'd have to take on all 3 of these stacks, but I'm very intrigued by this now. I'd really like to come back, but I think we do need to actually take on one of these opposing AI players. But I think we've done enough for this part, so thanks for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed. The next part we will of course be almost certainly fighting the red player, and as long as nothing goes too badly wrong, we might be able to return and investigate the rest of the Great Wasteland, which is actually turning out to be pretty interesting. But yeah, thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.